this is what silenced the ringing in my ears. What I realized is that the sound of tinnitus was being amplified by my central nervous system, and my brain was fixated on it. And there were stories around this experience. For me, the stories were very terrifying, and the thoughts were this: I'm stuck. Oh my God, I'm stuck like this forever. This is gonna get worse. I can't live like this. Why do bad things keep happening to me? And those were the patterns, and some of them got really dark, right? This is gonna make me go crazy, this and that, and round those thoughts would go, because when I heard the sound, when I was in silence really triggered me the most. When I was in silence, I would hear the sound, and it would trigger these thought loops, which would put me in a panic state, fight or flight, and I would want to just like run. And that was the bane of my suffering. That was my suffering loop. And I was convinced, I was like, I'm never going to hear silence again. This is so terrifying. Like, why can't I turn this off? And I was really suffering, man, like suffering really bad. And for me, what silenced it was allowing myself to experience those thoughts and experience the fight or flight, like the terror, and not respond to it. And this was really hard to do at first. And I thought that I had to believe the thoughts because they felt so real. The experience was so real. It was so vivid to me. It was so like, I was sure I was never going to be happy again. I was so like convinced of it. But then, deep down, there was a part of me that was like, no, it's going to be okay. This is not hopeless. And I chose to believe the part of me that was, the truthful part of me. But it was really challenging when I first had it. It was very, very challenging. So if you feel like that, I can completely relate, because that's exactly where I was. And I don't like to compare suffering. If you're suffering just a little bit, you're still suffering. But for me, and this is when I decided to develop my coaching program, and what I do was that I address the thoughts and I hold space for people so that they can experience these thoughts, experience this challenging situation, and learn to not flinch and learn to not get caught up in the thoughts. And at first, this is hard to do, and your brain is going to tell you, this isn't working, this is dumb, you need to go find the cure. But if you can reject those thoughts and you don't even need to reject them, just sit there and allow yourself to witness them, to see them as a movie, and you can choose to believe them or not. You don't have to believe them. You don't have to believe them just because you're thinking them. For me, when I was able to allow these thoughts to come into my awareness and pass as clouds, like as a cloud comes and then it goes and then now the sky's clear, right? Over time, the more I did this and the better I got at this, the more my silence came back. And not just my physical silence. Yes, my physical silence, like I do have silence. But like mental silence. Like I wasn't bombarded by thoughts that I couldn't control. I was, by and large, just at peace most of the time. I'm pretty much at peace. I feel like I'm at peace all the time now. It never used to be that way. But it is possible. So, what's possible for one is possible for all. So if it's possible for me, it's possible for everyone. And that's how I silenced the ringing in my ears. I let go. And I allowed myself to observe the situation and not despair. And things got better. They got way better than I ever thought was possible. I never thought it was possible to recover to this extent. I didn't think you could go get back to where you were, right? Like recover. But then I didn't even think it was possible to like transcend and go on and live all of your dreams and achieve every childhood dream you ever had, and recover to a place where you're like way better person than what you started. Who would have thought that? I would have never thought that, but it's completely true. It's completely possible because I'm a living example of that. So anyway, that's how I silenced the ringing in my ears, by addressing the core root suffering. And when I work with people, if you go to tinnitus.health, you have a chance to work with me as we address the core component of the suffering, which is not the ringing. It's not the sensation. It's the thoughts. It's the stories that you've been believing, and you've been allowing that to drive the suffering. So anyway, if you like this video, make sure to share it with someone. Comment. I love reading the comments. I'll talk to you later. Peace.